We suggest you explore this universe with an open mind, surrendering all expectations and conceptual frameworks. Are you ready? Our story begins in the mid-20th century at a prestigious university. Timothy Leary sits at a desk in a well-lit office surrounded by books, papers, students listening intently to his every word. The year is 1953. Leary has been appointed head of the university's psychology clinic. As he speaks, images of atom structure and chemical reactions flash across the screen alongside abstract animations of neurons firing, synapses sparking. This represents the burgeoning field of neuropsychology and the impact of LSD, which Leary will soon explore. Leary turns from the chalkboard toward his students, eyes gleaming with excitement. The room fills with vibrant colors, geometric shapes, and kaleidoscopic patterns. The walls dissolve, revealing a swirling vortex of energy. This symbolizes the breakthrough experience that Leary will soon have under the influence of psilocybin. Stepping through the vortex, we enter a subterranean chamber where figures dance around a central point of light, representing the tribe-like atmosphere of Leary's Marsh Chapel experiments. Leary becomes increasingly interested in the potential of psychedelics after a colleague mentions psilocybin. Intrigued, he decides to experiment with these substances. Images of mushrooms intermixed with neuron firings flash across the screen, symbolizing the connection between natural organic forms and the human nervous system. He tries them for the first time in Mexico City and experiences a profound mystical experience. Light streams through stained glass windows onto the chapel floor, forming radiant patterns of color. Figures kneel in prayer, their bodies outlined in gold. As Leary walks through the chapel, the light fades, leaving him alone in the darkness. This symbolizes the profound impact of the experience on his life and work. Back at Harvard, Leary continues his research into the therapeutic potential of psychedelic substances. We see scenes of patients undergoing therapy, their faces obscured by shadows or represented by abstract shapes. As he works, images of atoms, molecules, and DNA intertwine with animated sequences of the human brain and nervous system. Leary believes that these substances can unlock the secrets of the universe, allowing humans to transcend their current limitations. His research leads him to explore more potent and controversial substances like LSD, symbolizing the increasing intensity and risk of his work. Leary begins hosting Saturday night multimedia extravaganzas, inviting fellow academics to attend. These events feature live music, dancing, and psychedelic light shows, representing the growing countercultural movement of the 1960s. Images of music, lights, and dancing intertwine with representations of the subconscious mind, dreams, and the collective unconscious. Among the attendees are Al Paul and Ralph Metzner, two prominent figures in the psychedelic movement. They join Leary in conducting experiments with psychedelic substances, further advancing the field and deepening our understanding of the human mind. Together, they form a close-knit group of researchers and visionaries pushing the boundaries of human consciousness. By the late 1960s, Leary's experiments with psychedelics become too controversial for the academic establishment, and he is fired from Harvard. Images of a burning book represent censorship and the suppression of knowledge. Undeterred, he continues his work, opening the International Federation for Internal Freedom in Millbrook, New York. The name is written in flowing script surrounded by flowers, peace signs, and other symbols of the counterculture movement. Here, Leary and his associates continue to experiment with psychedelics, hosting parties and festivals that attract a growing following. Flashing lights and music symbolize the vibrant, energetic atmosphere of these gatherings. One attendee is Ken Casey, author of the novel One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Casey and his merry pranksters embrace the psychedelic lifestyle, taking LSD and holding events that blur the line between reality and fantasy. Their experiences highlight the transformative power of psychedelics and the potential for personal growth and self-discovery. Images of people dancing, laughing, and embracing symbolize the communal aspect of the psychedelic movement. fostering a sense of community and belonging among its followers. Leary's ideas about expanding human consciousness through psychedelics reach a wider audience. When he is invited to speak at a major festival, he takes to the stage, the crowd cheers, and his words are carried on waves of sound, representing the growing popularity of the psychedelic movement. At the height of his fame, he is arrested for possession of LSD and sentenced to 5 years in prison. Images of handcuffs and prison bars symbolize the crackdown on psychedelics and the persecution of those who advocate for their use. While in prison, Leary continues to promote his ideas through writings and interviews. He maintains his belief in the potential of psychedelics to transform society and calls for a more open-minded approach to consciousness exploration. His message resonates with many, inspiring a new generation of activists and researchers. Despite the setback, Leary's legacy lives on. In the early 1970s, he is released from prison and returns to public life. Though his star has faded somewhat, he continues to speak and write about the importance of expanding human consciousness. He also explores new frontiers, becoming involved in the burgeoning field of computer science. Images of binary code and circuit boards symbolize the growing influence of technology in our lives. The 1970s progress. Leary's interests shift toward ideas of digital consciousness and space migration. He envisions a future where humans can upload their consciousness into computers and even colonize other planets. These concepts represent the far-reaching implications of psychedelic thought and the potential for technological advancement. During this time, he connects with some members of the Church of Scientology, further blurring the lines between psychology, spirituality, and technology. Images of stars and planets represent his fascination with the cosmos and the search for extraterrestrial life. Throughout the 1980s and 90s, Leary continued to be a prominent figure in the field of consciousness studies, though his ideas became increasingly fringe. He remained a controversial figure, but his work laid the groundwork for future research into the nature of consciousness and the potential for psychedelic-assisted therapy. His later years were marked by a desire for digital immortality, seeing computers as a means to achieve transcendence. Toward the end of his life, he is diagnosed with prostate cancer. Despite the challenges, he continued to speak and write until his death in 1996. A memorial service is held in his honor, tended by friends, family, and admirers. As the service progresses, images of Leary's life and work flash across the screen, symbolizing the impact he had on those around him. At the conclusion of the film, we see a gathering of like-minded individuals at a modern home in the Hollywood Hills, perhaps a metaphor for the digital age spiritual community. As the scene fades, the text "Turn on, tune in" dropout appears above the city of Los Angeles, connecting Leary's iconic phrase to its birthplace. The ending evokes a sense of continuity, suggesting that Leary's legacy lives on in the modern spiritual movement. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life and ideas of Timothy Leary. If you enjoyed this film, please consider supporting us. Your support helps us continue exploring the depths of consciousness and the fascinating individuals who have shaped our understanding of it. Until next time, may your journey of self-discovery be filled with wonder, insight, and transformation.